power and energy and literally keeps the lights on. We're going to be talking about IoT and remote monitoring. And it's one of the biggest behind the scenes shifts that's happening across energy infrastructure, facilities, and critical power systems. So, to break this down, we've brought one of our experts who I'm going to let introduce himself from Power Telematics.
Briggs. I'm president of Power Telematics. We're based in the Atlanta, Georgia area. And we provide remote monitoring solutions primarily focused on standby and mobile power generators that provide backup power and even prime power to a whole host of really any kind of application. But we've been doing this. Our business is 10 years old, but for me, I've been doing this a lot longer than that, but I've been in this industry for quite some time. But indeed, this is a thriving and growing segment of our market and what we do for sure.
One thing that you think that people misunderstand about implementing these systems today?
Well, I think most people are really either unfamiliar with the type of technology or really what the concept is, and some are concerned about cost and all that. But mostly, people are just at least historically, have not been aware that the technology exists. And what I mean by that is that we provide, some gateway devices, hardware we refer to, that actually mount and install at the equipment on the emergency power generator, at the automatic transfer switches, and really any other kind of equipment that we're monitoring. And what that does is it really looks at the several different types of applications. Some on a more simple application might be we're looking at the primary conditions. Is the generator running? Is it operational? Is it in a fault condition? Is it ready to run when the power goes out? And that's the primary concern. And then we have more advanced diagnostics type systems that really take a deep dive, and they will monitor and measure all kinds of crazy things from not only the engine parameters, but also the electrical parameters. But really what most people and that we talked to over the years and years, they're mostly not familiar with the technology. Once they hear about it, it's like, wow, that's really cool. I think I need that. But the overall goal from our perspective is for an emergency power generator, it is there for a very critical reason. It absolutely has to work in the event of a power outage. And our goal and our whole purpose and mission is to make sure that it does. And that's by looking at it 24 hours a day. Our systems automatically do that. And if there is any kind of a problem where that generator will not work, then the generator owner and the service company are notified immediately that hey, this generator has a problem. So I think mostly in this industry, it's people are starting to adopt and accept and even adapt to using technology instead of the traditional way of servicing equipment by sending a technician to physically check it out and make sure that it works okay.
Yeah, so many good things that you said in there, Andy. And I think that it's really important that people expand when they're just starting to explore IoT, that they really think about how this technology fits into their overall strategy and how it works into their operations as a whole. What would you say? Where do you think we are at on the adoption curve? Are we in the early days? Are we near the tipping point? Where do you think people are at when it comes to these remote monitoring devices?
Great question, Alice, because in fact, I wrote an article not long on that, and we addressed that very point. In the technology adoption curve, you have your innovators and early adopters, and then your early majority. We believe we're just now entering the early majority phase. We anticipate and estimate, based on not just our research, but others in our industry as well, that roughly 20 to 25% of the generators out there today are remotely monitored. So that means, call it 75+% or not. So we feel like we're just now entering the early majority phase of adoption, which is exciting because it's taken us a while to get to that point, just from an adoption standpoint. But what it also is exciting is that there's so many more generators out there that are not monitored, that need to be monitored, and that whole acceptance and adoption, as you indicate, is really starting to grow, and it's growing very rapidly.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to add or any final thoughts that you wanted to leave listeners with today?
Um, Really just, you know, we try to tell people to keep an open mind and not be afraid of technology. Technology, there's all the discussion about AI and what it's going to do for everybody these days and all that. But there are very simple technology solutions that are very cost effective that just encourage people to keep an open mind and try it and really feel comfortable reaching in and embracing some of the technological changes that are happening in all industries.